Hey guys, it's Robin a Bank. I'm back for another video. Today I want to discuss GRT, otherwise known as the graph. It was one of my preferred cryptocurrency altcoins that I've been trading, and actually recently this year dollar cost averaging into. Interesting structure, quite similar to other altcoins, adhering to similar structures in terms of their formations, the way they are conforming to the principles of Elliott wave theory. Uh, One thing I don't like about it, of course, is that it did come in here toward the late stage of the alt season of the past cycle, in late 2020 going into the spring of 21. So there's not too much price history to base this on, but we have what we have to work with. So had it been in inception earlier, perhaps it would have seen 5 waves to the upside, perhaps not, similar to that of ANKR. In any case, this is what we have. All right, let's take a look at the prior bear market that we recently saw in what was basically in the start of the spring of 21, going into the conclusion of 2022. Now, all right, we had 5 impulsive waves to the downside. 1, 2, extended 3, 4, 5. 5 waves down. End the year. Right, let's remove that. This is on the monthly time frame, of course. So, what are we seeing now? This one, early 23 was wave 1, followed by a lengthy wave 2. Now, I was under the impression that it was possible that this was the start of wave 3, this whole move here, which began in, what was that, late 23, Q4 of 2023, going into the spring of this year. Everyone was euphoric. I thought perhaps that this was going to be a larger impulsive move than the wave we saw in early 23, only to see it roll over. To be entirely forthcoming, I did start scaling in as this was correcting in April. I began buying in the 30-cent range, down to the 20s. Basically, I continued to add. And yeah, I am holding the bag on this particular altcoin. It is just currently how this has unfolded. In my case, basically, this is a 1-2-1-2 now. This did not become extended enough, of course, to become wave 3, and this would, even if it had this move to the downside that we've been seeing over the past few months, would be too much to the downside to be wave 4, although it hasn't technically broken below the candle body close of wave 1. In any case, it's a very deep, lengthy correction, and I see this pattern as a 1-2-1-2. Basically, we can see came down to the 702 in that particular correction, and this time, what have we done? We've come down to, we've wicked down to the 786. It's holding just below the golden ratio currently, as our new month and our new week is unfolding here in the beginning of September 2024. So, I could say this was 1-2-1-2, right? So this is all just one. And technically, we are right at the 618. We have wicked down to the golden pocket, rather. So, And historically speaking, September is not a great month for this sector, this industry, historically speaking. So I imagine that will be relatively flat or down. So I've already started the month off red, as you can see. If I had to make an educated guess, I would say this is probably going to continue to bleed against Bitcoin for the remainder of September, and then perhaps close somewhere around the 618 in the 12-cent range. We'll see. Maybe somewhere in this range between the, basically between the 618, the 0.5, maybe come down to the 6.5, even the 702, take out this low, but chances are this low is probably going to hold just like the whole low for Bitcoin, I imagine, will hold from Bitcoin's low of last month in August. So, all right. Considering this is a 1-2-1-2, what we can, if it, we could say this is then 1-2-1-2, followed by what would potentially then, if we are to see an alt season, be a large extended three-wave. Hard to say how high that would go, of course. You never know how high your wave 3 is going to extend. Generally speaking, of course, wave 3 is the most powerful of the impulsive waves. So you could see something like this maybe. And that would take us into late 2025 if it were to, but I imagine it's not going to be quite that lengthy in duration, but time will tell, of course. Since it looks like this particular altcoin and many other altcoins still need to see their wave 3, 4, and 5, whereas with Bitcoin we have already seen waves 1 through 4, and we're in the stage of completing wave 4, in my view, before seeing the blow off top of wave 5 take the price up to somewhere shy of $100,000 USD, if not higher, but I suspect below that range to basically hit its 1.618 extension of wave 4. In any case, it's hard to know how these coincide. Let's see. Basically, yeah, the third wave needs to hit at least the 2, but knowing cryptocurrency, you generally see higher extensions. So maybe this goes all the way up to the 2.72. That would put it at its prior all-time high. Now, do I think this is going to happen? Maybe. And then maybe wave 4 comes down to the 1.618, 1.414. Hard to say. And then you get a blow off top. Maybe this goes somewhere between 550 all the way as high as $10, almost $10. Or not. Maybe it puts in a double top there, 2.272 if it gets that high. Maybe it doesn't even do that. Maybe it just comes up here. It's a shallow retracement. Something like this. This one is rather hard to predict. I mean, it's a very basic chart in nature. It has been adhering to Elliott wave theory. I just wonder, given the fact that there's limited price action from its inception, price data rather. See, it came up to the 0.5, wicked above it, but closed below it so far. So I just wonder if it's just going to come up to a retrace level, such as basically the 618 around 63 cents, or if it's going to come up to, yeah, between that range and the 786. See, can see a strong area of resistance up there. Let's put a little box in there, rectangular box, just to pinpoint this range as an area of resistance where I would be looking to basically scale out my current position just to be conservative and to make sure I make a profit on this trade. I would say that's a pretty logical area to scale out. I mean, you're going to see more oversold conditions once the price action finally begins to recover and see some impulsive movement. I personally do plan to scale it. It could just do a little zigzag in the upward direction, and not have an extended wave 3, but it certainly would be great to see that unfold. What the market decides to do, well, that's for the market to decide. And we'll just have to remain flexible and see what happens when it happens. Of course, we have these much higher areas to look out for, but I'm not that optimistic. I'm not that bullish. I'm just trying to be realistic and look for retracement levels to scale out of. And even so, even if one were to start a position where we are below 20 cents, basically, you're still looking at 3 or 4x potentially, maybe even 5x or more if it gets up to the 786. And of course, my position is, my cost average is roughly, I believe it's 26 cents. I've been continuing to scale into on the dips. So yeah, I'd like to see at least a 2.5 to 3x in terms of what I'm able to accomplish with this particular coin, given the amount of capital that I've utilized so far. We'll see as we get closer into the fourth quarter, when we suspect altcoin season to begin, historically speaking. So let's stay tuned. We'll keep watching GRT, among other similar altcoins, and of course Bitcoin, which leads the show, leads the pack, and we will take it from there. Alright, if you guys enjoyed the video, please feel free to leave comments, like, subscribe, and I'll catch you next one. Peace.